So, you've been tasked with reading a book over the summer because you're so smart, of course. And paired with that reading is a required journal. Oh, I might have upset a few of you with the thought of doing something over the summer that isn't related to Fortnite. Well, you might be someone who likes this kind of thing. You might be a little miffed by the idea, but not enraged, or you might be slowly slipping into a depressive educational coma. But never fear. I am here to quell your quandaries and douse your disparity with helpful information. In this video, you will have everything you need to get that coveted A and be ever beloved by your English teacher. Okay, so to begin, we need to talk about how to set up your notes and reflections. It is suggested by the adults in Grand Prairie to use a digital template. However, the classic composition notebook works great as well. You can use a new one or an old one that you have relabeled. No teacher likes unorganized projects, so let's not start out with a jumbled mess. For specific as what is required, go to gpsd.org, Departments, Teaching and Learning, English Language Arts Secondary, Required Summer Reading 2019. There you can select your grade level, find your options for a book, and see suggestions for possible quotations to consider when reading your book. Once you have procured your book, you can set up your journal. It is okay to write in your book, but remember, you are required to keep a separate journal. Plus, you can't really get proper reflections in the margins of a book. If you use a composition notebook, you can easily set it up by opening it and having a few folds, lines, and headings as shown by my fast-moving hands. What we want to see here in your headings is the chapter you are talking about, the text evidence that you will be reflecting upon, and your thinking on the matter. A helpful hint is to use sticky notes in your book to mark when you wrote a reflection in your journal. Okay, now my script says that I need to talk about the notes you'll be taking, so here we go. Your reflections will be split into two different categories, the first being craft, the second is reader response. Craft could be categorized as how the author's decisions affect the story, like characterization, conflict, literary devices such as personification, grammar, and the author's purpose. The reader's response are any thoughtful or meaningful ideas, questions, connections to the text or to the world, or your own opinions on the matter. Again, refer to the ELA secondary homepage for clarifications. All right, let's talk about your beautiful notes. Always be sure to include a page number when citing text evidence. For example, on page 70 of Catch-22, Joseph Heller gives a description of Lieutenant Sheiskop, or however you pronounce that. I need to put the chapter quote and page number and my thinking in my writing journal. So when I go back to my summer reading journal, I've already set it up. So I know that I need the chapter, I need the quote, I need the page number, and I need my thinking in the response. I would classify the response as craft, so I'm going to use that with a color-coded system. This color-coded system can also help you keep track of how many notes you need to be taking. That's 10 craft entries and 10 reader response entries. And if you're having trouble knowing what you need to write, your information can be found on the ELA secondary homepage. And if my excellent video hasn't helped you, you can find examples on the summer reading page that show responses from proficient to just plain awful. I sincerely hope, that this has helped you as you start your epic journey climbing the summer reading mountain, striving for excellence. Have a great summer.